Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the Thai Expat Daily Show. I'm your host, Kieran Mack, and I'm truly delighted you've been able to tune in with us yet again for another show. Now, before we do get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. If you like listening to us on a podcast player, there's a link down below in the description where a vast array of podcast players can be found. And finally, if you want to support the show, if you like to support the show, the easiest, the best way is to become a channel member. Details, perks, all down below in the description, and it's just as simple as hitting join. Now that that's all done and dusted, let's jump into the trending stories here in Thailand today. Now, before we do get started, I want to jump into a couple of follow-up stories. So firstly, the renowned Big Buddha temple in Phuket's Karan district is actually closed at the moment, and it will not be opening anytime soon while the investigation into the landslide that killed 13 people on August 23rd continues, and also whether or not it was built illegally and on illegal ground. So if you're planning to go there, unfortunately, you won't be able to. It's currently sealed off and there is no entry into it. Now, also, we're going to follow up on a case that we brought to you 2 or 3 times. David Fehr, the owner of an elephant sanctuary in Phuket, has been acquitted of charges of related to an alleged assault on a female doctor outside his rented villa at Yamu Beach on the night of February 24th. Fehr consistently denied the allegations, claiming that he slipped and did not intentionally kick the doctor. The court, citing insufficient evidence, granted him the benefit of the doubt and dismissed the case. Despite the incident initially leading to the revocation of his visa, Fehr has been since appealing this decision to try get his visa reinstalled or reinstated. And that's just an update on it. So he's basically been acquitted of the charges or found not guilty. I'm not sure how it really works here in Thailand in the legal aspect of things, but there you go. I think we kind of talked about this when it happened and said that really the revocation of his visa should have happened after the verdict, not before it. If he was found not guilty, then there would be no reason to revoke his visa. But of course, the Minister of the Interior, Anatan Charvakul, may have jumped the gun and may be looking a little bit silly right now. But that's the final update on it. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll appeal it. I'm not sure she can. And I'm not, as I said, too familiar with how the Thai legal system works here in Thailand. But I mean, he's been found not guilty, so he shouldn't basically be able to apply for his visa and get it. That's how I would see the situation. But I'd love to know what you think about this story and what's gone on in the past. Finally, just on some quick topics before we do jump in, as I said, the Thai Meteorological Department has issued a warning for heavy rain to very, very, very heavy rain for basically all of Thailand from the 3rd, which was yesterday, to the 7th of September. So if you're out and about, you're driving, you're anywhere you're going, please be careful. The rain, particularly here in Phuket, where I've been in Phang, is very heavy and it's quite windy. So please take care when you're out and about and be safe. But we'll jump into the rest of the stories that we have for you today. So a Russian retiree and a Ukrainian teenager were arrested on Copan for illegally working in Thailand, specifically for renting out vehicles advertised in Russian Telegram groups. Dmitro, an 18-year-old Ukrainian, was apprehended on September 1st in a hotel parking lot on Copan Island. The next day, the tourist police, in coordination with the immigration authorities, announced the arrest as part of an operation targeting foreigners working illegally in Thailand. And from what I can tell, there seems to be an awful lot of people working illegally on Copan. Andrea, a 6-year-old Russian, was arrested at an unmarked house also in Copan. He was charged with working without a work permit, and a Mazda car with a Surat Thani license plate was seized as evidence. Dmitrio found that the hotel parking lot faced the same charge. Authorities seized a Yamaha motorcycle with a Lop Bori license plate as evidence. Now, Andrea admitted to renting out vehicles illegally, using Telegram to advertise to Russian residents in the area and collecting a 15,000 baht deposit per customer. Dmitrio, who had come to Thailand for his studies, had been renting out vehicles for about 2 months and recently advertised a motorcycle for rent in Andrea's Telegram group. So I guess that's how they knew each other. But nevertheless, it's a tale of don't work in Thailand illegally because you eventually will get caught. Ben Ransom, a British national wanted in the UK for his involvement in a major drug trafficking gang, was arrested in Phuket and is set to be extradited back to the UK. The 28-year-old had fled the UK to avoid charges that could result in a life sentence and had been living under the alias Billy in a luxury villa in Rawai for the last 2 years. On September 2nd, Police Major General Montree, commander of the Investigation Division, ordered Ransom's arrest at a restaurant in Rawai in Phuket, following a criminal court warrant issued on August 23rd. Ransom faces charges of conspiracy to supply Class A drugs, that's cocaine and heroin, conspiracy to supply Class B drugs, ketamine, and conspiracy to acquire or possess criminal property. Despite his efforts to reinvent himself as a boxer competing in Phuket, authorities tracked him down and uncovered his true identity. Now, following his arrest, Ransom was transferred to the Suvarnabhumi airport for interrogation and preparation for extradition. He denied the charges, but has been handed over to prosecutors at the Office of International Affairs to proceed with his extradition back to the UK. The ongoing dispute between a British expat, his Thai wife, and a Chinese mother-daughter duo in a luxury Phuket department store remains unresolved. One party travelled to Bangkok to file a complaint, raising concerns about the police's handling of the case, prompting a response from the Region 8 Police Commander, Police Lieutenant General Surapong. On August 30, Surapong emphasised that evidence had been gathered from both sides and the case will be examined by the public prosecutor and the court. He urged against biased narratives or excessive criticism of the police. The expat couple, Miss Pookie, 25, and her 51-year-old British husband, John, sought help from Mr. Ekapot, a social media activist, expressing fears of unfair treatment by Phuket's police. The conflict began on August 19 when they accidentally collided with the Chinese woman in the mall. The situation escalated into a physical altercation, with both parties later filing complaints. Now, John and Pookie alleged that the police pressured them to settle, citing the Chinese party's influential connections. We have heard that before, haven't we? They were offered three options. The option number one, the Chinese mother and daughter would sincerely apologize to them in the media. They proposed that if both parties apologized, they would agree. The second thing would plead guilty and pay a fine, which they felt was unjust. And the third one, if they refused both options, they could pursue legal action against the other party. But during the process, the British husband would have issues entering and exiting the country. The case has sparked significant tension online, with Thai netizens noting that neither party seems willing to back down in this case. Both parties have filed complaints and charges have been brought against both sides. The draft bill to support Thailand's gaming industry is expected to be in effect next year, aiming to position the country as a regional gaming hub, according to the Digital Economy Promotion Agency, DEPA. The DEPA president announced that the bill will address the industry's rapid digital evolution, expanding beyond internet cafes to online platforms. It will include measures for registering gaming entrepreneurs, developers, and platform providers, offering them tax benefits to encourage growth and employment. The bill will also tackle issues like game ratings and prevent problems such as online gambling and violence, with collaboration from cyber police and digital payment agencies. It aims to enhance the competitiveness of Thai entrepreneurs in the global market through storytelling, character design, animation, and esports. Public hearings on the draft bill are scheduled for this month, after which it will be reviewed by the Cabinet, the Office of the Council of State, and the House of Representatives. The bill is anticipated to be implemented by 2025.